introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Charli Lark, and I'm kind of a dark pop singer-songwriter, and kind of been singing all my life, um, and but just kind of got off the path. Um, and it took me some time to find my way back, and so I'm back and releasing music, and I'm just really it's it's been a long road to get back here, but I'm so happy to be able to express myself in the way that I always wanted to.
That's awesome. What got you started in music when you first started singing?
I'm one of those that have been singing since I was like an angsty teenager. I'm still angsty, but but like
Aren't we all?
sang at talent shows and fairs and stuff. Um, have been writing and moved to New York and kind of went through that sort of process of performing and writing and doing all of that. But just got, I was really listening a lot to sort of the rules that we get uh, conditioned to, especially as women, um, about our lives and what's possible for us. Um, and it just felt uh, like I was just listening to that too much. Um, and uh, and so yeah, I would go and sing at those like you know, open mic nights and karaoke, like professional karaoke things um and that was really fun, but I was juggling a lot. So um yeah, but I just kept writing and through a whole bunch of detours, just kept doing that. And when I got kind of free again, um, I like all of this stuff started coming back to me. And I was just like, I really want to do this. Can I do this? Yeah, fuck yeah, I can do this. So, yeah.
No, I totally get that. I think I was reading that you had written well, it kind of was, obviously doing my research, and you had written a song about like a breakup and stuff. And I don't know if you're referencing that, but I know I went through a similar thing too, where it was like, oh, can I like do all these things? And it was like, yeah, you can. You can do anything you want to do. And you
It's
find
pretty,
that power sometimes by removing the negative people from your space.
yeah, it's pretty, it's almost like miraculous the way that when certain energy changes and shifts, like what it opens up for you. Yeah, I got married, I had a family, I worked corporate jobs, I did the whole thing that you're supposed to do.
Right.
And it did not include my creative expression in a way that made me feel whole. And so I just really needed that. And once I was living in like a dark little mountain town, which was beautiful, but it just was not a place where I could thrive. Um, yeah. So, um, yeah.
So what was your aha moment where it was like, all right, I'm going back to this. I'm making this change. I'm gonna take the jump.
Um, I was, I was actually, we have look, it had been brewing for me. Like
Sure.
I had left my marriage. I was sort of like remembering who I was. Stuff was coming back to me. Um, and I was going to ACL Fest in Austin and walking there and having these just big feelings about I have all of this stuff in my head, my heart, my journals, like, and it needs to get out. And even if it's just for me, um, it needs to get out. And the big hurdle was like having the perspective shift of um, can I do this? Like it was really just about the you're not supposed to do this. This is what you're supposed to. This is the next step for you. And I was rejecting that. And like, can I do this? And I was like, yeah, I can do this. It's
Yeah.
um I have everything that I need.
So, did you get any advice along the way that you feel like, or on the way there, even towards that before that, that stuck with you, that you kind of carry with you throughout your career?
Um, I think that we get so in our heads about um I'll speak for me. I get in my head about judgment um and I think that I have people in my life who um remind me that uh that I'm valuable and that what I have to say is valuable. And um I think the advice is always just um coming back to yourself and just doing what that call is. We always have those like little feelings, and to lean into that. Um, and I think if you stay true to that, then all the other stuff is can be there, but you stay rooted in that.
Yeah. And so for you, the call has really been to write and to sing. I read in another interview that you said you didn't play an instrument, that your pen is your instrument. Is that right?
Yeah.
I love that. Um, I don't play instruments either, but I like to sing, so totally I resonate with that. I mean, I played, elementary school instruments. We all did that, but um,
Yeah,
the
and I
the
have
thing
like the stuff in my head, but I don't I'm not a guitarist or a pianist. I work with some amazing musicians and producers that can help me sort of translate what's inside.
that's kind of what I was going to ask you was when you write your songs, do you hear the music in your head, or is it the other way around? Do you with the words and then someone helps you put the music to the words, or do you kind of do a little of both, or you have like an idea of what you want it to sound like when you write it?
I get I'll get ideas, I'll get inspired, um, and sometimes I'll write. There'll be a turn of phrase that comes up in my head, or usually there's something going on in my life or in the world that I'll feel like I want to just to talk about. And so sometimes that comes lyrically and sometimes it comes melodically. Like I will get melodies in my head and just be singing them, and then the words will come and associate with them. In terms of creating a final song, definitely work with producers to make that happen. Um, but I'll come with sometimes whole songs written, sometimes little bits and pieces, and it's it's always an evolution, um, from what it starts as to what it ends up as. Um,
Yeah, when you get creatives together, I think there's always that like pop off where it's like, oh, this or this, or we'll try this, or
yeah,
that's fun. Yeah. Are all of the songs that you write all based on your life? I know you said some were, are they all your experience, or sometimes they like someone else's story, or
they are pretty much all my life. I think that I can take bits and pieces. Um, it might be what's happening now plus a little bit of what happened before. But it's pretty much stuff that I see going on around me or stuff that's happening to me. And I have a big emotion about it. I have big feelings about it, and that needs to be expressed. A lot of the stuff that I write is very much about like um, feeling empowered again and being free and sort of rejecting um, things that are put upon us and that sort of get ingrained in us that we have to figure out what's going on there.
Yeah. Well, I think too that makes a lot of sense for some of the people that I read that had put as your inspiration for your music. Like I think Lauryn Hill and like Fiona Apple and Joan Osborne. Yeah, that makes sense to be in to speaking out about your experience.
Those ladies are iconic.
Definitely, definitely. And it looks like too that you kind of took like a deep dive into like how you look at things in general. Do you feel like there were a lot of opinions maybe about just the way that life is structured that also kind of led you back into just being like, okay, I can do whatever I want because there really aren't any rules. These are just put on me.
There really aren't any rules. Most of what keeps us limited, just when you put light on it, like you can just walk through it. And
Hmm.
it's it's scary as fuck, but because we're taught that we will not be loved or accepted or belong somehow, like in our childhood or in those big moments in life. Um, but you really can walk through those. And I definitely have had, um, I think going through my life, there are moments where I made decisions that I just did not think that I could make, but I got to the point where I had to. And then once you do it, you look back and you're like, I never thought I could do that, but I did. So if I can do that, I can do this. And
Sure.
it does help to sort of like build that.
Yeah. Well, and now you're making music around the world. If you would have told yourself that 5 years ago would you have even believed yourself?
No, no, for sure not. But also, yes, like it's one of those things where it's like, um, there's always been that feeling in me
Desire.
when I was a little girl that this is the life that I wanted to be having. And so yes and no. Like there's those limitations that you just think um that just hold you back sometimes, and you just have to step through them and see what happens.
Sure, for sure. So do you have a specific song that is about that transition, that stepping through that like is the one that you like remember writing because you went through that or like in reference to it?
I do think you can look at my catalog that's out and you can see sort of the progression. Like my very first song that I put out was very much about the breakup and the process of rediscovering myself and having lost myself. And then you can see how I have a song called Too Much Not Enough about like how we're never perfect and we can't ever win. And I wrote a song about that I put out in November called Burn It Down, which is a little bit about sort of like burning down all those rules and sort of that shift. Um, and so yeah, I think I'm an intense girly, and so I have you'll see just like intense uh middle finger songs, but then also like intense joy and intense just like those kind of big feelings.
Yeah, we're on 11 at all times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite of all the songs that you've written
Oh.
or even one that's not even out yet but just a favorite for you?
Hmm. I um oh, that's hard. I do have a song. So I have a song that's coming out tomorrow that I love,
Right.
um, called Gold Edge Tongue. And then I have a song that's probably going to hit in the summer called You and Me and I. And those songs are very sort of how I'm feeling right now. Um, and I really like there's songs lyrically that I like, and there's songs. So that's like asking me to pick my favorite chocolate.
Okay. People be able to catch those tomorrow in the summer when they come out? What all are you streaming on?
I'm everywhere. I'm on Spotify and Apple and Amazon. I'm everywhere. I'm Charli Lark with an I and Charli Lark Music on Instagram. Um, and so you can stream me anywhere.
Awesome. Do you feel like you kind of prefer to work as a solo artist that gets to kind of go do like, different work with different session musicians as opposed to kind of having a band that is the same, or how does that work for you?
Yeah, I'm solo right now. I've worked with other songwriters and I really enjoy that collaboration. The collaboration with producers has been really cool. Um, because there's a magic that happens when you have different creative people together. There's always surprises, like in a good way. Um, and so yeah, that feels good to me right now. I'm not opposed to expanding that, working with other singers and musicians. That's what I've been doing so far, and that feels comfortable. But as is typical for me these days, like getting out of comfortable is always where the growth is. So
That's fair. Yeah. If you could stand in front of the world or make a statement to the world that was like, this is who I am in one sentence, what would you say?
um, I am I am what happens when you recognize that it's not too late and that you can do whatever you want.
I
That,
love that.
yeah.
So, given that sentiment, what advice would you give to maybe a child that came up to you and said, "I want to do what you do"?
Um, Obviously you can. But I think there's a never letting other things get in the way of that voice inside of you. Hmm.
Sure. You have to. The theme I always hear is you
You
have
have
to
to
want it
nurture
more
it.
than anything. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to nurture it. You have to take care of it. Because it will get buried if you don't.
So yeah, I think that's really good advice because I feel like a lot of the time kids are still just being told the same string of lies that we were always told. Is like, well, that's not a real job, or you can't do
Mhm.
that, or you're not
Mhm.
going to make any money doing that. And it's like, sometimes people do find ways to take the things that they love and make money, but most of the time the things we love don't make us money, and we are okay with that, and we know that, and we do them because we love them still. So it's like, you know,
Exactly.
it's winning when you can do both, and obviously,
Exactly.
but that's not always. But yeah, determination is, I think.
And we have this one beautiful life as far as we know. Um, and so give it to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of, we know we talked a little bit about your two songs that are coming up. Do you have any other big exciting things coming up that people can be on the lookout for?
I'm in this phase where I'm releasing music, and so I've got Gold Edge Tongue is coming out probably by the time this is out. And then I have another three songs that'll come out between now and kind of through summer. And I'm probably going to take a trip out to LA and work with some other producers out there and make some more music. It's starting to pile up again. So I need to go and work on that. So yeah, that's the exciting stuff. It's really exciting um, to make something behind the scenes and then to put it out in the world and sort of release it and let it become whatever it wants to become.
Yeah, it's like releasing the little baby
Mm.
bird into the, watching it fly. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want people to know that we haven't talked about?
Um, no, yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm,
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to, let us get to know you and kind of get a chance to check out what you're doing.
I appreciate this conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
And if you end up coming to Indy anytime soon, then we'll definitely need to know so that we can make sure that people get out and see you wherever you're going.
Yeah, I'd love to connect. Yeah, I don't have any plans right now, but
Yeah.
things change fast. So,
Well,
uh,
once you put the music out, then tours come right after.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll be seeing you maybe next year on tour.
yeah, that would be fantastic. I would love that.
We'll
Uh,
make sure you get a hold of us and we'll make sure we get to talk to you again.
okay, good.
Awesome. Super nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you too. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.